friends. We are gonna make lasagna. It's the perfect day for it. There are 1,000 amazing lasagna recipes out there. So we are gonna start by making a beef base ragu made of mince. So it's basically a bolognese. Usual carrots, celery, onion, garlic, parsley, some beautiful Aussie crushed tomatoes, some fabulous beef bone broth to really give it some oomph. One of my favorite go-to ingredients for a quick meatball, an Italian sausage. You can get them with fennel and chili, or you can just get the plain Italian ones. The beauty of using a good quality Italian sausage is that the meat inside is good quality. There's a lovely amount of fat in there, a lovely layer of flavor. And of course there's the seasonings. So this is traditionally Italian with fennel. That lovely little fennel, finocchio bite. If you have a sausage you love, why not try adding that one? We're then gonna make a seriously cheesy bechamel, which I tend to make by the liter. Bechamel, once you've mastered it, becomes a wonder sauce. Everyone gets a little bit scared of bechamel. And once you've got that first technique down pat, last of all, but not least, we're going to use fresh lasagna sheets today. It always does say on the pack you don't have to parboil these. However, I like to. The main reason is because I do like a wetter lasagna. But if you have the chance to make this today and eat it tomorrow, I can guarantee you it will be better then. It's the golden rule with any lasagna. It's always better the next day. Let's go. First things first, let's turn the oven on to 180 degrees, fan forced. We're going to turn on our cooktop to a medium high, and we're going to start browning the meat. Sometimes you might do the veggies first, that's totally fine. I like to do the meat first so that those veggies end up cooking in any residual meat fat. Mash up the insides a bit, or they do tend to stick together. Using my hands, I'm just going to mash it in to the beef mince. We're using 500 grams of beef mince and 4 sausages. You need to brown in batches to prevent stewing your beef. Now we're going to go and do our lovely burger patty trick today. Turn the mince into a burger patty, allow it to brown, let it get beautiful and caramelized on one side. Then you flip it over and allow it to start breaking up then. Okay, let's have a little look. Getting lovely and caramelized on the other side. Get those raw bits onto the heat, and again, don't touch it for a little while. Now you can start breaking it up a little bit. So I'm going to turn this down for a minute while I remove this batch. You don't need it to be fully cooked all the way through. You just need some really lovely caramelized bits. There we go, that's to the side. Back on, and our second patty going in. Yes, look at that. Just like cooking a burger. Breaking up that meat just a little bit. I'm going to turn this off. In that pan, you have some beautiful caramelized, charry, sticky meat bits. Lovely. We're going to add a little bit of olive oil to this pan, and we're going to start frying up the base veggie mixture. It consists of onion, garlic, celery, and carrot. We're going to start with the onion because that can always have a little bit longer to sweat and relax. Now, I'm not going to season everything as it goes in because there are a lot of steps, but I am going to give that onion a head start with flavor. Okay, so as soon as that started to soften, we can get in our veg. All right, so we're going to add the garlic in. Let that brown for a moment. All right, now I'm going to be completely honest here. I think I've been a bit too greedy with the meat quantity. In goes red wine. Yum. Now this is the point where you can kind of squash those bigger meat chunks down a little bit. When making lasagna, it is nice to have smaller chunks of meat. So at this point, I'm going to add all my other bits and pieces. One of them, this is Greek dried oregano, and it is the dried florally blooms of oregano, and it's just lovely, aromatic, soft, sweet, scented oregano. Toss that through. I'm going to add some parsley, about 2/3 of a cup. Now, our wet saucy bits. 1 can, 2 can. 250 mils of beef bone broth. Just use a beef stock. Okay, we're turning that down to low, and I'm going to bring it to the simmer, soft simmer. If you noted earlier, I asked you to turn the oven on. We're going to try and cheat a little bit. Pop this pan into the oven because I want to kind of cheat that long, slow simmering ragu process. 180 degrees fan forced. 15 to 20 minutes and see what it looks like. Okay, pan on to medium high. You're going to need 100 grams of butter, 1/3 of a cup of flour, 1 litre of milk, 1/2 cup of grated parmesan, baby Buddha mozzarella. Into that pan is going to go our butter. We want that to melt and bubble before we add anything else. Now we don't want this butter to brown. I'm going to grate some cheese while we're waiting for that to bubble. Cold cheese is always better to grate than room temperature cheese. Into this we're going to add flour, 1/3 of a cup, a lovely floury slurry, a little bit more of a paste. Now what that does is coat every single grain of that flour in a little bit of buttery grease. Don't be alarmed. When we add the milk, it is going to congeal and clog up quite quickly, little bit at a time. The particles are starting to cook and expand in that flour, clagging up. We're going to add a bit more milk. Now you add a little bit at a time so that you don't get splashes of milk up the side every time you stir. Constant stir and feed situation. So I've stirred it past the claggy, super gluey stage, soon to be silky smooth. And then as it combines more, you can kind of speed up your whisking. I'm going to season it. Traditionally, a bechamel is made with a white pepper. I'm quite fond of a black pepper speckle. Add a little bit more milk because we're going to thicken it up with cheese. In goes the grated parmesan. Mozzarella in. Whew. So you want this on medium. You definitely don't want any of that flour or cheese solids to catch at the bottom and burn. Now you can see here, the cheese looks amazing, but it's a bit separate. It feels so cheesy. Our sauce and cheese are one. See, the cheese is in there, but it's broken down enough that it's not holding its stretch for so long, which is what we want, fully combined. Bechamel done. We're going to let that cool just a little bit. We're going to check on the beef, and then we're going to deal with our lasagna sheets. This has been in here for about half an hour. All those yummy flavors have kind of baked in together. Let's see what we can see. It's reduced quite a lot, which is great. A little bit of extra charring on the top, which is so fine by me. Oh, the fennel, immediately. 4 sausages was perfect. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put some water on to boil for our lasagna sheets. I definitely don't want my lasagna sheets sticking together. They are so delicate. So I am going to add a good slurp of olive oil. Now they're literally going to need 1 minute. Now while that is boiling, we are going to relocate into a bowl at the side. This is our lasagna pan, already full of flavour on its own. Add a quick dollop of bechamel to the base of this pan. A little bit of olive oil. Check my lasagna sheets. They're going to go in. 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, we're stopping at 8. Very gently, a little coax around the pan. And I'm going to pull them out. Here we go. Lasagna sheets at the ready. First things first is a beautiful, ow, hot. Because I'm using this random round circle, we are going to be able to have a little fun. Instead of layering side by side, and because these have had a little blanch, I'm going to do a cross pattern. Extra pasta, fantastic, but also some lovely crispy up edge bits. Next thing to go in is a big spoon of our ragu, and we're going to top that with some big fat splats bechamel. Just allow yourself a little bit of mess here. Ugly, delicious, mess makes yum. This time I'm going to layer on the diagonal. I'm sorry in advance if this is wrong by the heavenly book of lasagna, but it will be right by the guidance of the almighty taste bud. Trust me, this is my idea of heaven. Licking the spoon from either one of these pots brings far greater joy than licking the spoon of a sweet cake baking situation. Okay, with these last little ragtag pieces of lasagna, we're just gonna cover our top as much as we can. Now, those little hangabout bits around the edge, they're gonna do good things. Our oven is still on from the baking of our ragu. Quick drizzle of oil, a sun shower of grated parmigiano. We are looking for caramelized, blistered top, golden edges, and hopefully some bubbling overspill onto my pizza tray in the oven that is going to catch all that extra so I don't have to clean the oven later. In it goes. It's a good lunge, actually. An oven lunge. Oh my God. I will see you back here once that's had time to cook and rest. It must rest. Until then. Whew. It has to rest. I'm not going to rush this. I will see you back here shortly. Okay guys, has it been enough time for the lasagna to rest? I don't know. Has it been enough time for my stomach to wait? Absolutely yes. Look at that. It's a gooey, cheesy, crispy edged flap of pasta. Are you ready? Slow-mo the shit out of this. What? I'm sorry, but that is heaven on a spatula to me. We've bonded over the speedy ragu baking, the soft folds of lasagna sheets, and the silky, flowy tide of a cheesy bechamel. We are now best friends. Here's your bit. Kidding, I'm sorry, that was so mean. I'm just gonna have your bit. For Netflix and chill with this, baby.